looking at some alternative energy sources now. First one is biomass. Well, you can think of firewood as biomass. And what have I got here? I've got wood waste, municipal waste. Now, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing this right, bagasse or bagasse. Anyway, they've noted it in the text, but they didn't define it. It's waste sugarcane fiber. We haven't been growing a lot of sugarcane in Ontario, so I'm not sure if we have any here. The next one, okay, geothermal. This is an interesting one. Deep in underground reservoirs, we have hot water that's roughly 182 degrees Celsius. It's still liquid water. It's under pressure. That's why it remains liquid. So it's brought to the surface. Pressure drops, water turns to steam, and powers turbines to produce electricity. And then the leftover water and condensed steam is pumped back into the reservoirs for use again. I've got a couple of slides here. Let's take a look at the first one. This is quite a bare bones schematic. So here we have water coming up from underground reservoir, and these are pretty deep. And so changes to steam, right? Turns the turbine, turns the generator, which produces electricity. And then the wastewater, not wastewater, but the water left over in the condensed steam goes to a cooling tower, and then it's injected back into the well where it heats up and is used again. So it's quite environmentally beneficial, right? Because we're recycling the water. Now here's a diagram in a little more detail. So here's magma, right, which is the heat source for the water. Here's our underground flow. You can see it's quite deep. And so this reservoir is tapped into, right? The water is trucked over, not trucked, but makes its way over to the plant. The electricity is generated, and then we have an injection well here that the water goes back into the reservoir. What else do we have? We've got hydrogen. Now, you've probably heard of hydrogen cells. They've been around for a long time. I think Ballard Power Systems in BC, they've been in business since at least the 80s. And I know there's fleets of buses, or at least I've read there's fleets of buses in China that use hydrogen. And it's 4.2 times as energy efficient as carbon mass to mass. The only combustion product, is water vapor. Now, as a little aside, just so we see a little bit more about hydrogen. So for methane and propane, which have a high hydrogen to carbon ratio, they produce less CO2 than gasoline or diesel. Now, I know in Stockholm, Sweden, they have a project going right now where they have cars running on methane. So wind, we all know about wind. We've got lots of windmills around here. Okay? And then solar, and of course we know about solar. There's a solar farm that we just recently put up on Highway 4 in between Durham and Flesherton. There's another solar farm on Grey County Road 9, just in between Highway 6 and Highway 10, the road to Dundalk. And and this would be solar photovoltaic. So the energy gets, using an inverter, gets directly converted into electric current. Then we have solar thermal, where the energy, the heat is picked up from the sun, but then it's got to be transferred through a medium to heat exchanger to produce turbine steam.